All right, so once you have your 9 Pantone images, first of all, I remind you that the image size here is 3 inches on the width, 3.5 inches on the height, and resolution of 300. It's really important that you get these to the same dimensions. If these are different, you need to make sure that you get your next series of measurements changed as per this, so you need to come see me separately. So what we need to do is I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. We need to make a new document. That resolution has to match. That resolution has to be 300. Make sure that you change this over to inches. It's very important that it matches up so you know what it is you're typing in there. Now remember, we're doing a 9 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It all depends on your layout. If you're going to be doing 9 in a square format, that's what I'm going to show you now. If it's another format, please come and see me for arranging your canvas size appropriately. So if you look at this, we're going to get 3 of these widths across. So 3 times the 3-inch width would be 9 inches. So my width would be 9 inches. It is 3.5 inches tall. So I have 3 on the height as well. So that would be 3.5 times 3, which would give us 10.5. So I have my 10.5 inches on the height and my 9 inches on the width. Again, my resolution is 300. I'm going to say, okay, I have that document, and now what I need to do is I need to get this image put into here. Okay, I want to show you a little bit about guidelines because those will help you keep everything organized well. If you go into view, you can go down to a little tab called New Guide, and you can tell it on the vertical, I would like this at 33.33%. I would like a vertical guideline. So I'm going to go ahead and do that at 66.66%. So I've got this evenly spaced out, and I'm going to do it 2 more times, but I'm going to change this to the horizontal. Same thing, 33.33, and then 1 more guide on the horizontal. And I've got my document now equally spaced apart. Everything can be placed now neatly. If these get in the way, you can go ahead and do View, Clear Guide, so you can get rid of those. Additionally, you may find it helpful if you go ahead and add a fill layer in the background. And that fill layer can be black, so you can make sure that nothing is getting in the way, that you have no white spaces showing. We can turn that off later, okay? Easiest way, you'll see that these are all on different layers. We want them all to be imported as one piece onto here. So the easiest way is to use the place function. The place function starts at File. I then go ahead and scroll down to Place. As I get there, I'm going to go ahead, and this particular image is located in my teacher handouts for photo, and it's called Pantone Sample. And then I hit Place. You're going to see that it will place it in there. I can place the file. I can also put it exactly where I want it. I would go to my next file. Again, it's going to be the same picture, sorry. I could go to my next file. I can go ahead and put it in place, and then I can keep going with all 9 of those files. You're going to see that it imports it and places them all on different layers. So it is really important that you understand that. Additionally, I want to point out this little icon in the lower right-hand corner. This is really important because when you place, it will place it as a smart object. Some of you may deal with smart objects when you're importing pictures into Photoshop from another device. A smart object will only allow you to do certain things to it. So, for example, I can place one more. Let me put it over here. I can place one more. At this point, when I have it in place, I can place, I can go ahead and accept it with the Enter key. Gets rid of that X. But that X is a huge indicator that that is imported as a smart object. If I needed to erase something, all of a sudden this menu comes up here. This smart object must be rasterized before proceeding. Edit contents will no longer be available. Rasterize the object? And the answer is yes. Now you can edit it as you need to. Of course, you're not going to erase like that, but if you need to do something, that is a possibility. Otherwise, really the only thing you can do to a smart object is some very light editing and resizing. So very, very limited possibilities with that. At this stage in time, you will go ahead and you will save this image. I will create a new folder under our student Dropbox, period 8. I'm going to go ahead and make a new folder, and this one will be called Final, all in caps, Pantone Project. This is the only place you actually put, and I'm going to copy that over to the right folder. This is the only place that you actually put that file. So if you put it somewhere else, just go ahead and drag it in there. If you put it somewhere else, I'm not going to see it. So it's really important that you do get it into the right place. Again, Final Pantone Project. You're going to go ahead and name it. This is one part that many of you miss. You need your last name, first name, Final Pantone. This is the way that I will be able to give you your points. If you put it in there with no name, I can't assign you points. You're going to go ahead and hit save. In this case, you're going to be saving it to your H drive and then copying and pasting it over to that P drive folder. So don't forget that as an importance. All 9 of these images will be different. You will have 9 different Pantones in here. Again, you will have an overwhelming theme being the color of the Pantone and or the objects that you are choosing. For example, mine could be all shepherd athletes, and that's what I would use for my project here. All these colors are going to be dependent on which part of that athlete I choose. So make sure you make good decisions, make sure that you get beautiful images in here, and if there's anything that changes as per a size or layout, please come talk to me individually so we can figure out how large your document needs to be in order to be successful.